Welcome to the John's Family Podcast for this week. Apologies, people, if I'm just patting my face. I cut myself shaving and bloody hell, it won't stop.
Yeah.
I might bleed out.
When you cut yourself shaving, geez, it's hard to stop the bleeding, isn't it? I reckon it's the hardest thing to stop the bleeding in that area. Like you always, probably not the hardest, but
No. Have you ever been hit with a machete?
No.
Artery's probably pretty difficult.
Machete. I've seen the movie though. No, I have never been hit with a machete.
Yeah.
No. Hey, can we just address something right off the top? We usually do Homeland Insecurity, which is a segment where we uplift or we air our dirty laundry out, so to speak. Yeah. Anything that might be happening in the home. Now, something's just happened straight away as we're about to come into the studio. Trish was having a go at Jack because Jack decided, first time ever, to take something out of the washing machine.
No, that's a piss take. That's a piss take.
Okay.
No, it's not.
It is because I've lived on my own for a number of years now.
Darling, that was
and
2 years ago.
I have the way I
Let him talk.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah. Oh no, you can talk. You can talk now if you want, Trish.
No. You air your side. I want you to air your side, and then Trish can have her side.
I have my way of doing my washing and doing washing and putting things in the dryer.
Yep.
All right. Which they're actually in this house at the moment. They're mine because my ones were more operational in my apartment in Newcastle than the ones that you've had here.
Wow.
And she's had a go at me today by the way I do things. You know what? I like to wash things my way.
Yeah.
Right? I know I'm back with mum and dad. Doesn't mean they have to clean up all my shit for me.
But that's
yeah.
fair. That's fair. But I don't think Trish was actually having a go about you putting your stuff in the dryer. I believe she was angry because you put Dad's stuff in the dryer. And
Actually, Cooper, when I looked into it closer, it was your stuff.
Oh,
so you should be angry.
What was in
Your
mine?
New pants. Yeah. A couple of new pants that he'd put in the dryer and Matt's favourite shirt.
Maybe you two should start
Favourite
thinking
Scotch
about doing
and
your own
soda
washing. Cooper and Matty.
so what's he done to
no,
mine?
what you need to do is mind your own business.
Yeah, right.
I don't think that.
Jack's one of these people. There's such a thing where parents involve kids. It's got a term. In their dramas.
What's the term though? You can use
No,
it.
I don't know what the term is.
You know what the term is?
But it's a thing. It's a bad thing where adults bring their children into their dramas, which we don't do. But what Jack loves to do, he loves to embed himself in any of our business.
How?
Matt and I might be talking about something. He's going, what are you talking about? So like, hey, none of your business. If you didn't, if
you got a voice as loud as yours,
business.
mate, half the neighbourhood would know.
We let you know.
He's got a curious mind, hasn't he?
Yeah.
What did he do? Now, just quickly, what did he do?
Okay, so lazily, he just grabbed the load of washing out of the washing machine and just put it straight in the dryer without looking at what it was.
Hopefully it wasn't some of my stuff.
Yeah, your favourite Scotch and soda shirt.
Oh yeah, true. Because your shirts are tiny enough already.
Mate, I'm telling you right now, if my shirt shrinks or any way, shape or form, you're going to meet destruction and destroy.
Yeah.
And they're in a pretty wild mood.
They are there. And for those that weren't listening, Dad was holding up his fists.
Right fists and left fists.
And that's the thing. It's probably not frowned upon for you to hit Jack now because he's 27. So it's not like
probably
25.
might.
I'd almost encourage it. I'd be almost interested to see how it would turn out.
On the right, destruction. The left hand's destroy. And right in the middle, bush. The old Liverpool kiss, brah.
What
you
are
got it coming.
The middle?
Head.
You get jeez, I was going to say you're going to hit him with your old fella downstairs, are you?
Big
hit
head.
him straight between the eyes, straight between the bloody eyes, brother.
Knock his teeth out.
Brother.
You'd hope not. Let me. Can I do the introduction question, Dad? Today
Go
you're
for
a
it.
bit tired.
Go for it,
Okay, if you had to choose an Australian movie or TV character for the other family members, shit, I read it wrong again. I did it for myself. Who would you be?
Always would.
So selfish. I'm such a selfish
Can
person.
I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
I stuck with one movie because I thought it fitted the bill. Okay, Matty Johns, you are Daryl Kerrigan. And sometimes we get that
Who's that?
Wow.
from the castle.
We're crossing over here a little bit. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Why?
just your little curious mind. Sometimes we'll talk
everyone's
about
got curious
something.
minds.
I think I'll get a
apparently.
copyright on that today.
Yeah, I know. Well, you two are similar. Jack and Matt are very similar characters.
Yeah, we're going to
So-
get to that in a second. too.
So, how'd you make that? That's really beautiful. And the dull and all the old school terms.
How'd you make those omelettes, Dale? Oh, with eggs. Oh, with eggs. You hear that? Free range.
Cook the man to me.
And Cooper, you're Dennis Denuto.
Yeah, I wish I knew who that
he's
was.
the dodgy lawyer.
Oh, yeah, he is the Jerry Krause.
Yeah. I'm
Very
just
charismatic. He's not dodgy as much. It's just useless. Really.
Hopeless.
I'll take your word for it.
Just inexperienced. And Matt, you're the son-in-law, the Greek god Con Petropoulos.
Yeah, Jack's. That's
Yeah.
Jack, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh,
Didn't
yeah.
I just say Jack?
No, he said
You
Matt.
said Matt.
Yeah.
I'm sure I said Jack. If you go back and
Are
listen.
you kidding?
I'm happy to go back and have a listen.
People. Yes.
Who else had one? Come on.
Yeah, I've
free to jump
gone.
in.
It's funny, Coop. I've gone. Well, actually, I'll start at Jack. I've gone Daryl Kerrigan for Jack. Because
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there's no bullshit. He's a straight up guy, and he's just a good dude. He's a
Hear
good
that,
dude.
Trish? After that rap you gave
Yeah, I
me?
know. I might change it after
I'm
the
kind of off you.
mate shrinking my Scotch and soda shirt.
I know, that's it. And you're getting bigger. So, I mean, looking at you, mate, it'll look tiny on you. Look like a tank top.
Mate, we get a lot of mail on Dad's tops. I see a lot of
Yes.
these comments getting around, and I'll tell you
what
what,
is it?
I reckon his shirt's getting
shirts.
tighter by the year.
Oh,
So,
no,
um,
they always ask because you've got quite loud shirts.
Yeah,
They're very
like-
charismatic.
When have you started to get these sort of things through?
I had
These
a,
little
I've had them for a
tidbits.
while.
no, heaps of people giving feedback, but we like to protect you from haters and stuff on social media, but so you can be
Mine
yourself.
aren't haters.
Thank
They're
you.
like, oh, where's Matt's shirt from? I often get quite queries on your
I
Twitter.
love the shirt.
Mine are
Good.
haters.
Trish, I've gone your Auntie Entity.
I don't know who that is.
She is Tina Turner's character in. She's the Queen of Buttertown in Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome.
Oh,
Tina
yeah.
Turner's character, Auntie Entity.
Wow.
And Cooper, I've gone Bubby for you. He's
Bubby?
Nicholas Hope's character, Bad Boy Bubby, in the movie Bad Boy Bubby.
Gee.
Yeah, was that an
well,
Australian movie?
Australian movie.
Let's hope all our listeners are over the age of 60.
Yeah, or 70.
Well, watch it, people.
Bad Boy Bubby.
Yeah, he's a bit of a. He's an odd one, is Bubby. He lives downstairs in the attic, and there's some weird things that go on with cats and
Attic.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Anyone
look,
in an attic usually does.
there was an incest thing, but that's not the reason I've got you.
Let's
Yeah.
hope not.
My immediate thought was to put him as Kramer, but you'd specified Australian.
Australian, mate.
Australia.
Yeah.
Greatest country in the world.
My
mate.
first one, I've gone with for Cobber, Jack Simpson, otherwise known as Mick Malloy's character in Crackerjack.
Yes, I'll take
The
that.
bowling.
Yeah.
I've never seen that either.
Yeah, great flick. Mate, we used to have it on I remember it's one of our old
DVDs.
VCR.
Oh,
VHS?
Yeah,
Yeah,
VHS.
that's how long ago it was. Yeah, and
Pretty old.
for Cooper, I've gone with his name's Lyle Orlick from Boy Swallows Universe, the old man that takes the son to like drug deals and stuff.
Is he like a real, he's a bad guy, right?
I feel
Well,
like
it's not the Brian Brown character. No, he's a good dude.
No,
He
he's a
doesn't-
good dude.
yeah, I just feel like that bad boy persona you try to strive for.
Bad boy with a good heart.
yeah. Bad
And,
bad boys, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do when he comes for you?
Yeah.
And for Trish, I've gone with
this will be good.
one of our favourite neighbours' characters, Toadie.
Oh, Toadie. I love Toadie with the undercut.
yeah. There you go. Buzz
there you
cut.
go, Trish. A lot of similarities.
Now, I read the question wrong. Let's keep this in mind.
That's really going to help our, the relationships.
I did Humphrey B. Bear for myself. He's a honey-loving bear, lives in a treehouse in the magic forest.
No pants.
And he's a mute. Yeah, loves the no pants dance. And he's mute. I didn't realise that upon researching.
Well,
it.
he's never spoken.
Yeah. I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
So when you're a kid, I always thought the narrator was his voice. Turns out the narrator was someone else's voice. Humphrey B. Bear, a mute.
That's the
Cannot-
narrator.
Tell you what, not necessarily mute. What did he do to Humphrey B. Bear? He saw his friend of his did a gruesome murder when he was young.
Oh.
And to prove that he wasn't going to snitch on him, he cut his own tongue off.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, my dear
Christ.
Lord, if there's any children
That's
listening,
quite
that
dark.
is such lying.
Well, I mean, animals-
Matt, stop it.
Animals can't really murder, can they? Because I suppose it's more of a.
Are
Well,
you
he-
kidding me? A bear?
Hey,
But I mean, that's not considered murder. There's no animal court of law where like a bear.
Did you see The Revenant?
Yeah.
Did you see what that bear did to Leonardo DiCaprio?
I know.
It didn't just kill him. It had sex with him. Sorry, Trish. It did, though.
Allegedly.
and
do
I want to
bears.
just alert you all that animals don't speak, so it's okay.
Well, to each other they do. They,
Cockatoo.
They communicate.
Cockatoo at the front that
They
does.
may not speak, Trish, but they do communicate.
do communicate through other signs. I will say a perfect segue into the next thing I wanted to quickly bring up. Rest in peace to the Pope who just passed away.
Yeah, that's
this
right.
week.
Yeah. He seemed like a pretty decent dude. I didn't really hear any bad stories about him. Over the centuries, there's been some despicable popes. I wouldn't say he's been one of the bad ones.
Well, has there
We grew
actually
up with
been
Pope
bad popes?
Oh, in history, throughout history, there's been some total grubs.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched?
Even though they're men of the cloth.
Well, Amazon have moved very swiftly, and they've acquired the rights to the movie Conclave. Because that's what happens. It's about what happens after the Pope
That's right.
dies and how
The choosing of the next pope.
the choosing of the next Pope. So it's a very good flick. Actually, I recommend people to watch
That's
it.
a good recommendation. I might get because I was curious about that. And you know what I'm always so aggressive about? Why is it always an old pope? Why not? Can they ever just
16-year-old. Yeah, I agree with you.
I think that's a bit young, but maybe
Grow into the role.
But what's wrong with like a 30 or a 40-year-old? Why is it always someone 60 plus, SPF 60 plus?
Because it's based upon the cardinals, and you don't usually reach cardinal status until that
You're
older
going to make your way up,
age.
right?
Yeah.
It's all politics.
That's why.
You have to get the vote. Remember, they sit in the Vatican. They can't leave. They can't leave a room until the white smoke comes out.
Yeah,
of
they
chimney.
did.
Like phones taken away from them, everything. It's pretty like you've got to be very isolated because they don't want anything to influence anyone else's vote once they go into the conclave. But the thing that surprised me the most was just how political it was. Like what people have to do to try and gain each other's votes. It's very
Can I ask Jack, how many are in there? How many are voting?
a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact number, but there was
Complicated.
a lot, and they've got their own quarters to live in and stuff like that. But
Well, I do have the inside scoop for a few people.
It's creepy.
Right.
Because I was up in Cessnock and Newcastle over the week, which we're going to get to. I've got a ton of stories from the Hunter Valley. But Gaz said, actually, an old teacher of you and Joey, Gary Johns, your dad, has tipped him to be the next pope.
Well, Mr. Mascord.
I don't know if
Father Mascord.
it might be Mr. Mascord.
Jeez, I tell you what, that'd be hard up. He's a great guy. He's a nice guy, Mr. Mascord.
Yeah, but you've got to go through the bishop, the cardinal.
Got to go through all of it.
I think he's made his way up. Because I said, where is he now? He's not living in the Hunter Valley. He's down the coast. I think he's down Wollongong way or something like that. And Gaz says, I'll tell you right now, he's on his way to being a pope. And Gail says, are you sure, Gaz? I mean, he's very biased as well, Gaz.
Yeah. I mean,
you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And
pretty sure he's
and
very
he
biased.
does make stuff up
Yeah,
as well.
Because he was Mr. Mascord when he taught me, and then he went into the priesthood and became Father Mascord.
Wow.
We used to have nicknames for him, like Mr. Massage Parlour.
Oh,
my God.
I know,
Oh,
which probably
classy.
doesn't fit now that he's
Probably
a
doesn't
priest.
fit now that he's...
the actually speaking of that, was there another story about another one of Matthew's teachers in the footy when he was 10 years old, Coop?
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're going to like this. So me and Gaz
Bless you.
went to the pub when we were there. You took me down. You said, hey, Coops, why don't we go down to Australia and we'll have a feed? And we ended up not eating at all. We ended up just having, he had a 2 years old, I had a few beers. Anyway, I've gone in and there's a bloke who come over and said g'day to us. G'day, mate. How you going? Talk to him for a little bit. Gaz said g'day. Gayle was sitting there, your mother. And Gayle says, you remember him, Gaz? And he said, oh, yeah. And she said, oh, he used to coach Matt in the juniors.
Yep.
And I went, oh, how good's that? That's nice to, like, trip down memory
Won him
lane.
a few titles.
Yeah, nice to meet some of and then Gayle told a story about when you might have been under 10s or something. She said, oh, apparently he chipped Matt to Gaz and said, oh, I think he can be doing more out there. I think and then Gaz says, what does that mean? He says, I think he's got a low work rate, he's lazy. Talking about you, obviously Gaz's 10-year-old son, you, and apparently Gaz jobbed him.
Yeah. I remember turning up at
my Lord.
under 10s on this Sunday mornings. We used to play Sunday mornings, and there was just a weird vibe. And I heard them all chatting, and I heard the assistant coach say, "So what happened? What did you say to Gaz?" He goes, "I just said that, like, Matt's got talent, but he's just lazy." And then he just started bashing me. And I was going, "Oh no."
Yeah, he told me a few
Oh,
stories
God.
about times he jobbed people he probably shouldn't have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He
Apparently, when he was 19, he used to work in an asbestos mine for a bit, Gaz.
Yeah, he did.
And he had to go out and work there. And after 3 weeks, he come back and Gayle said, what's going on, Gaz? He said, oh, you know what, darling? I missed you so bloody much. I just had to come back. 2 weeks later, they were at the pub and someone come up and told Gayle that he'd actually got sacked because he punched the boss.
Oh, no. That'll do it.
When I was a young guy, we went to Pedon's. I was probably 15. Used to be able to hang around the bar a little bit there.
Yeah.
And this guy, there was a sort of youngish guy there who was hassling Gaz, like giving Gaz there was a few guys there, and he was just showing off, going, oh, look at this old bloke, there, and he's a tough guy and all that. And the old man's just sitting there and then goes to me, I'll show you how you'd handle this. So what happened was Gaz literally walked into the toilet and just waited in there for him. Just
Hello?
waited. And I thought, where's he gone? And Gaz's mate goes, this is his old trick. He's just waiting in the toilet. Next minute, the bloke walked in there, and apparently Gaz's mate was in there as well. And when this guy walked in, Gaz goes, surprise. Yeah. And the rest is history.
Yeah, they made love. Made love.
Oh, and then Matt was born 9 months later. No, just a joke, of course. He obviously didn't.
Gaz not in the glory hole
Gaz,
at all.
I tell you what, Gaz had some... I was in Cessnock for maybe a day and a half in Cessnock, and the amount of stories that I've come out with he's just the gift that keeps on giving, Gaz and Gayle.
He's incredible.
We got to get him on the podcast at one stage. I said
Yeah.
we got to get him on because he just gives you. I mean, half of his stories are true, but they are just my favorite one. So my favourite one, he told a story. He said, we're driving down. He goes, Coots, we're driving down from Cessnock, and we're driving down with Andrew's son, Samuel, our cousin.
We don't talk about Samuel much, but yeah.
We have Andrew's son, who's my age, Samuel. We probably haven't mentioned him enough on this potty.
Yeah,
but
we mentioned his birthday a few times.
Shout out, happy birthday.
8 weeks. He's 8 weeks younger than you.
Okay, well that's interesting. We'll clip that up, and then so they're driving down to see Joey in Sydney, and apparently now everyone will remember this. In 2012, the Aztec calendar was ending, and they'd had that big movie, 2012, which had alluded to the fact the world's going to end at the end of the Aztec calendar. Now, I remember I was really scared. We were actually in Thailand at the time as a family when it happened, and I was shitting myself. I thought, this is the end, and I'm in Thailand. Like, Jesus Christ, where are the massage parlors? No, I'm joking. I was 13.
The railings.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're listening to 2GB on the drive down, and Benny Fordham's on, and Ben Fordham had someone on talking about it. And Samuel's in the back listening. Obviously, it's the first time he's heard that the world's about to end this year. And Benny Fordham's talking to him about, obviously just asking him questions, curious about why do they think the world's going to end. Anyway, Gaz said Samuel starts getting really upset in the back. And he's going, oh, damn it, Gaz. Why'd you take me out of... The world's about to end and you've taken me away from my mum. If I knew it was the last time I'm going to see my mum, I would have given her the biggest hug in the world. And Gaz is going, oh, no, what have I done? And he's warned Joey. He said, Joey, Samuel's in a state. He's in a bad way. He's not in a good way. He's thinking we're a week away from death and we've taken him away from his hometown. And he gets down there and Joey's trying to talk him through and go, mate, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, mate. People thought it was going to end in 2000. People think the world's going to end all the time. It's just different theories. They're just talking about it. And Samuel's going, well, he wouldn't talk about it on the radio if it wasn't real. So Joey, I think at the time he was being managed by the Fordhams. He rings up Ben Fordham, who's just finished on air, and he's got Ben there on speaker, and he goes, hey, Ben, mate, I've got my son here. Can you tell him that, it's not real and just to settle down? And Ben and Samuel are in an argument. Samuel's 13, and Samuel's going, but why would you get someone on if they... And Ben's going, I'm just covering a story. It's big news this year because the Aztec calendar's ending. Samuel, everything's going to be all right. Everybody's got different theories about this and that. He ended up sort of calming Samuel down. Samuel went, righto, whatever, I believe you. Anyway, 2 days later, they're driving back up the N1 to go back to Newcastle. Gaz puts 2GB back on, Ben Fordham's on again. And apparently, Gaz goes, shit, you're not. From the back, Samuel, 13, he pipes up and he goes, Gaz, turn this fucking liar off.
That's the best day.
That is the best story.
Shout out to Ben Fordham.
Shout out to Benny Fordham.
And our Samuel.
And Samuel, yeah. But I got to catch up with so many people up in Newcastle. Dad, one of your best mates, Stephen Crow. And,
how'd you go with Crowy?
Mate, Crowy, I'll tell you what, I've said this to a few people. Crowy is just me, 35 years older, still living like he's 20. Like he's 20 years old, old Croster. We went and did a training session at Air Locker Katara at Mark Hughes' place. Shout out to Mark Hughes, Boozy. And we went there it was a 6 a.m. class. And I'd had a couple beers the night before, but nothing crazy. I was just watching the footy, and then Crowy's picked me up. We've gone there. And I don't know, they must have thought, well, this bloke a year and a half ago was playing NRL. He must be in pretty good nick, not realising that I've completely let myself go, both physically and mentally.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the girls in there, the PT girls, they were quite, energetic, and they got that energy about them. Like, come on, you got to get over 20, get over 20. So I've started pushing myself, not realising that my muscles haven't been worked like this in a long time. Anyway, I get to the assault bike, and I'm going 30 on, 30 off. By the third rep of the assault bike, I'm only 15 minutes into a session, an hour-long session here. My guts go, and I start spewing.
No, not in
the oxygen chamber. In the air locker, for those people that don't know.
Suck the oxygen out of the room.
Yeah, they suck the oxygen out, and everyone's in there going, what? And there are people in there, Dad, who look like they haven't seen the inside of a gym ever, and they're judging me, and I'm running to the bathroom, and I'm in there spewing. And Crowy, and I looked back, Crowy, and that was so disappointed. But the girl came into the bathroom, and she was like dead set about to start grabbing my hair. I had to run back in, and I finished the session, but it was embarrassing.
You've done this before, though. You've done this before. So remember, at the start of 23, you were off contract, and you hadn't signed with Manly yet. And up at Newcastle, a lot of the boys, we'd been training at one of our mate Grinder's gym, and Grinder, he let us all in, goes, boys, come in. Good vibes, don't have to pay anything, just come in and train with us. So we go, sweet. Cooper come up one weekend and did a cardio session with us. Poor Grinder was mopping up massive chunks of Cooper's vomit
Cooper Johns.
right out the front of his gym, and which Cooper just he'd done it, and then just going, "All right, boys, let's get out of here, let's go," and just
Taking a
ducked
bucket
off.
of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, you remind me of that.
He still tells me about that.
Yeah, that's my bad. I'm sorry. I always say this: the first session back, like off season,
yeah.
I used to go like pretty hard in the off season in terms of how I'd live my life. You scumbag.
Yep.
So I'd be going pretty hard. How you live your life, you scumbag.
Yeah.
You ever seen that video? Anyway, so the first session back after a few weeks on the drink, I was always horrendous. Like I'd always need to spew, and then I'd kind of come good a week later, and I'd be back in sort of my old self. So yeah, there's been a few gyms that I've spewed.
I always recommend to people that if you're coming back from pre-season, do a training session about 3 days earlier to just get yourself ready mentally.
Yeah.
Because it's more mental than physical, that first session back.
Oh yeah,
That's awful.
Also, I've got a gift for you.
Oh, yeah.
So I've come back from Cessnock bearing gifts, lots of gifts, red wine, all sorts of things. But Gaz has given me something that's, I'll say it's pretty sentimental. I would say that, pretty sentimental. And it might, be pretty nostalgic for you. You might remember this.
I can smell it from
I can
here.
smell
What
it
is
here
that?
too.
Describe it, Cooper.
Mate, it's a what's the fabric? Like almost like a
It's a wool.
It's called wool.
it's a wool. Oh, we haven't seen
They
that.
take it
woolen
off.
jumper.
It's a woolen
They
jumper.
shave it off sheep.
And mate, it's from a rep side you made when you were in year 12 in high school. It's the South Australian Northern Territory Rugby League Tour. Opens 1989 for Country Rugby League.
I think you've left the word Catherine off there as well.
No, Catherine's not on
It's
there.
not on there? Okay.
No,
my
no.
mistake,
Is that
'cause
the
we went
full
to
name?
Catherine Gorge.
Oh, it's giving me
Yeah.
allergies.
So that's the Rugby League Tour that you've obviously made in 1989 in
My
year
nose,
12.
as soon as you got that up
got
and
it?
grabbed it, my nose
Same too.
actually started getting really itchy. So
there you
It's
go,
like
bruh.
full of naphthalene.
That was a great tour.
It's like grandma's place.
We had a great tour. So we went to Adelaide. Went down there. First time was in Adelaide. Couple of days. We played the South Australian side. They were terrible. They were hopeless. We just gave it to them. Then we went up to Alice Springs. Alice Springs was a real eye opener. It was awesome. We had a great time. Then we went to Catherine, and then we finished in Darwin. Now, by the time we got to Darwin, we're all about 16, 17. Mate, by the time we hit Darwin, mate, the tour was over. Mentally, in our heads, the tour was over.
Yeah.
We just snuck out every night and we're on a drinking rampage.
Can I say?
how old were you again?
Yes.
About 16,
I
17.
think he said 18, I'm pretty sure. I was just thinking,
kid.
when Gaz brought that out and said, your dad will love this, which I knew you would, obviously,
He just
I
dropped it straight
thought,
on the floor.
why did a team from the Hunter Valley, a very rugby league town, decide, hey, let's go and play rugby league in South Australia and Northern Territory?
That's right.
It was the country Catholic schoolboys. Could you get any more niche than that? basically, whoever put their hand up got a start.
Okay, yeah.
But we had a great time. A few guys that I would go on to play with later on were in that tour. A fella called Evan Cochran.
Oh,
Coco
okay.
was one of the great blokes, and it was about 3 or 4 guys. Then I ended up playing NRL. We played Penrith in Darwin in a game, and played against Petho.
Oh, yeah.
Petho's in the
Really?
game. So
I
it's
think
amazing what rugby league just stumbled upon people.
My throat's starting to close
Starting to
over.
close over because of that.
Yeah, the dust
Maybe.
mite. And I also got to catch up with another friend of the podcast and Kurt Gidley. Kurt
Kurt!
We went to the
Kurt.
we went to the beaches at Merriweather and had a beer on the Saturday night.
That would have been interesting, you and he together.
Yeah.
It was fun. I'll tell you right now, those people who have followed us for a long time might remember a prank that I did on Dad on Kiss about 4 years ago during COVID, where I wanted to get a maternity test to make sure that
or even a paternity
test to make sure Dad was my real dad, because a lot of people used to say I looked like Kurt Gidley as a joke, and we'd always get comments about it on the podcast and whatnot. So I ran with it thinking that it was starting to get to me. Anyway, little did I know, 5 years later, Kurt's still running it.
Still going.
Kurt's still running
living
it.
his dream.
He says, mate, people scream out to me at the games. People are still coming up to me at the pub going, oh, you're Cooper Johns' dad. And Kurt's lent right into it now.
Has he
Mate,
really?
when we were sitting there
Yeah,
having
well,
a
I'd
beer.
like him not to.
I know. When we were sitting there having a beer, he put a picture of me up on his Instagram, and he was like, "Good to catch up with the young fella today." And I was going, "Mate, good." That was 5 years ago. He's just continuing
let
to
it
run it.
go,
I
bro.
love him.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, he's good fun.
We'll get him on. We've got to get him on.
We'll get him on. We'll get Gaz on. We'll get Kurt on.
And we'll get the paternity test. We'll get we'll get a doctor in and see if they can bring the results.
That's a pretty good. That would be interesting to do.
That's a-
Trisha's all of a sudden looking very nervous.
That's
No, I couldn't get too hoots.
very, very good idea. Yeah. We also caught up. Another person I caught up with.
Mate,
Sorry.
you've had some sort of trip.
Oh, mate.
I know, mate. And you've left Cessnock and there's been an earthquake.
Yeah.
What?
Earthquake at 2:55.
Why didn't I know about that?
Oh, you mustn't be listening to the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully
Your
everyone's
mum
all
and
right.
dad felt it. Yeah.
Did
Woke
they?
them.
Of course they did.
Gayle was sitting on the dryer. Only joking. I'm sorry. I'll tell you,
Gaz was pressing himself against the lawnmower, just getting those vibrations.
yeah, but why aren't you laughing, Trish?
Because I just think you're, gutter humour.
Anyway, but caught up with a couple of Jack's old best mates and roommates, Matty Croker and Dylan Lucas.
Oh, yes, the
how they-
boys.
how
Yeah,
they
you stayed with the boys.
Stayed at their place.
Did ya?
You can imagine they were stoked to stay with me when they're trying to prepare for a game and I was out all night.
Croaks is when I say, "Hey, Croaks, how you doing?" He goes, "Oh, Matty, fucking never shuts up." I said, "Mate, I know about it. Don't
About
worry."
who, Cooper?
Yeah,
Yeah. He said that right in front of me as well.
he did.
We were on FaceTime and I said, Croaks, say good day to Dad. And Croaks just goes, yeah, mate, you want to bring some mouth tape up and cover your young fella's mouth? He hasn't shut up in 3 days. I was like, oh, God, you could maybe say it behind my back.
Yeah, Coop come back and he was saying to me, "Oh, Croaks, he's funny, isn't he? Like, once he's met his social capacity, he just sort of just leaves you." I said,
Yeah.
"Well, that's what a lot of people do, actually."
Yeah. That's what Dill says. Dill says he hits his social back. It's like he's an iPhone. And as soon as he ticks over, he's only got 10% left in the tank. You don't see Croaks, so he won't say a word to you for the rest of the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He must just hit, like he'll get the notification in his brain says you got 10% left, start charging, and he just disappears.
Exactly like Curtis Dark, my other old roommate. He's from Old Boston, not too far from Taree. Honestly, he's the exact same.
Yeah, he's
It's just that breed, bruh.
Can I give people a little bit of a tip, given the fact we're talking about nights out in Newcastle?
Yeah.
This Friday night, well, as this is going to air tonight in Newcastle at the King Street Hotel, King Street Pub. It used to be called the Castle. What's it called?
Yeah, the one across from Macca's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's at King's, yeah. Our next door neighbour, Ben, is DJing there.
Is he?
So,
he?
yes,
Oh.
he's DJing.
Benny boy.
At King Street. So go in there. You'll see him behind the set. Go and pass out our regards.
Benny.
Benny's about 28, but he looks 50. So you'll
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
You recognise him.
You'll recognise him straight away. If you look behind, you think, what's this 50-year-old playing DJ at a pub for? That's Benny. Don't worry, he's pretty young.
I got one more story out of Newcastle I listened to. I listened to the Batuta Boys. They do a podcast.
Yeah.
The Batuta Advocate Boys. It's very, very good. And I'm going back to listen to some of the old interviews they did. And Trish, they interviewed Mikey Robbins. Now, Mikey Robbins was like an iconic comedian. He was on Triple M for quite a while, Triple J, like very well known. Well, years and years ago, he was being interviewed by the Batuta Boys, and he said, mate, Newcastle High, he's a Newcastle boy, invited him back to do a bit of like the returning hero to school and giving all a pep talk and how do you become successful and all that sort of stuff. And he said he felt a little uneasy about it, turned up and said to the principal, any of these kids really going to be like that interested in me? He goes, no, mate, they'll be into it, don't worry. So he said he stands in front of the whole student body and he's about 2 minutes into this speech and he looks down and in the front row of the Silverchair boys, Daniel Johns, Ben Gillies, and Chris Janua, because they were still going to Newcastle High.
What?
So he looks down. He's doing my life as a success. Meanwhile, those boys have just had a #1 hit in America, Triton Platinum album, and they're earning about $1 million a week.
No
and they're just sitting
way.
there. Yeah.
Well,
That's
geez,
crazy.
that's intimidating.
It sure
They
is.
would have just
Oh,
been
that's
going.
funny.
They would have just been going.
Oh, listen. That'd be going, listen to this guy.
Listen to this. They'd be
Seriously.
laughing at him, just giving him bird.
Yeah.
Hey,
Was he? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
go on,
go on,
Trish. Go on, mate.
No, Trish, we haven't heard from you in a little bit.
Yeah, come
No,
on.
that's fine. No, Mikey Robbins, was he a larger man? I'm
Yeah.
confusing him
Yeah,
with the thin-faced man with spectacles, or
Moby.
with you're thinking Tony Martin.
That's
It's in
exactly
Martin and
what I'm
Malloy.
thinking. Yeah.
But
Mikey
Mikey
Robbins.
was, and then Mikey, mate, lost
Lost
a lot of weight. Lost
Yes,
a lot.
yes, I know.
Big
Yeah.
South Sydney fan. Terrific guy, Marty.
Yeah. Hey,
Mikey as well.
one more thing, because I've been telling a lot of Gaz and Gayle stories. The cutest thing that I ever saw, because after the pub, we went back to theirs. We're playing music on their YouTube. They didn't really know how to work it.
What a trip you guys have had.
Mate, I've had the best week of my life. Anyway, I'm going to head up there more often because I don't get up there enough to
Nice.
see the family, connect to country, get back there. Anyway,
Just quickly, where does Mum work? The Vineyard. Want to give a recommendation? If people want to go in and say g'day to
Peterson's
Mum,
wine,
Peterson's.
cellar door.
Celador,
There's Celador.
Peterson's Wine. You want to see Gayle in the flesh, have a chat to
Yeah.
her, go in there.
It's
looks-
a little wine cellar door.
Yeah,
not
she
the,
looks
not
like
the champagne.
She's looking like George Clooney at the moment. She's got a lot of silver gold.
Mate, she's in good nick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, how old's Mum?
Mate, she
How
would
old
have
am
been.
I?
She would have been one of the oldest women training in an F45 in Australia for sure. She had to have been. She only
She's gotta
stopped
be-
like last year.
She's got to be 74.
I'm 73. She's 73.
You're 74. No, you're 53.
I'm 53. She's 73.
Yeah.
Yeah, how good's
Yeah.
that? Are you
Yeah.
54 this year?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Jesus, mate.
Yeah,
You're looking good.
You're looking great.
Looking very handsome.
We'll get it off the best.
Jack Simpson.
Gayle, just talking about Gale's genetics.
So anyway, back to the YouTube thing. What I found, what all they watch on YouTube, I could see their history on it. Best of Reg Reagan.
Oh, cute.
They would be watching it 100 times. There was that many Reg Reagan videos backed up that Gaz and Gayle must get drunk and just sit there and watch it. And they watch the family podcast.
nice.
Every Friday, they must sit there, crack open a bottle of white wine, and they watch the family podcast on the YouTube.
How many bottles?
Oh, I didn't get to that many, but they wouldn't let me go to bed. They would not let me go to bed. I was going, oh, righto, guys, kept clapping my hands, like getting up, and then they were going, hey, and then Gayle kept going, 2 more songs. And I was like,
Mate, it would be a tragedy if we don't get Gayle on and then we get a cask of wine, get her a glass
Oh,
of
she doesn't drink a cask, a bottle.
a goon bag.
Wait a second. Yeah, she drinks the
And we get her glass of ice, and like through, like, if it's an hour podcast, just get people just to check and just see how many she can knock back because she
be
She
game.
drinks it with. She drinks with ice.
Yes.
so much
a lot
ice,
of
mate.
ice.
So much
jams
ice.
it.
She jams. She puts the ice up to the brim of the wine glass and then fills it in. I was like, Gayle, you got it. And then every
Actually,
time,
that's the way you should have. Like, that is the best way to
keeps her
drink Coke or
replenished.
anything. Yeah, that is the best way to do it.
I will say, a Coke with like a heap of ice in it, geez, it's good on a day.
What about the way Gaz drinks wine? I love watching Gaz drink his red wine. He sits there, he drinks it like he's drinking a schooner.
Yeah.
He just goes, chats it, and he just goes.
Just pushes it back. Yeah, you go,
Matt.
see at the bottom.
You're not far off that, mate.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Learn off the best. It's in the DNA, guys.
Like father, like son.
Count does the DNA.
I also a lot of podcasts before we move on. A lot of podcast listeners up there. We want to shout out.
Oh, cool.
One, me and Matty Croker were taking an e-bike ride the day before his game. Just getting the legs going.
What could go wrong?
Yeah. Well, my battery. I was driving Dylan's. The battery ran out. They didn't charge it for me, so then I've had to
Use manpower.
just ride it with my legs, which I didn't want to engage any of those muscles. But I've gone, and as I've started riding it with my legs, it's powered back up again, and I've started doing a wheelie, right, like along the beach walk there, and then it's gone completely out from underneath me, and I'm holding it there, and it's vertical, and
You're running.
I'm basically
How does that even happen? Because the e-bike's like so heavy.
yeah, but it was that powerful. Like it was literally like I was riding a moped. It was so bad. Anyway, I'm holding it, and I'm like running as it's moving, and I finally like get it down, but then it falls on my left leg, bruised my left leg, and I'm underneath it, and there's this car that's pulled up next to me, just hammering me, laughing straight at my face, and I'm underneath this e-bike, looking up at them, going, "What the hell?" Croaks has ridden off because he's embarrassed, and then the bloke in the front seat, who's driving, pulls over next to me, looks at me, and he goes, "Oh, that's that Cooper Johns," and I was literally. It would have been the lowest point of my life, just having, and they didn't even get out and help me.
No.
They just all laughed and drove off, and I was so rattled.
That's the Novocastrian spirit.
Yeah.
Oh.
At least they pulled over to just
Laugh
to-
at me.
I think we should get up there and do a
Rattle you.
live show up there in Newcastle.
I agree.
In the Commonwealth there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm getting a bit nervous about our live show.
the beaches have bumped us
up at
before.
Magic
The beaches
Round.
have bumped us, but we just haven't. It hasn't been able to work out with
Yeah.
the start
Why
of the
do you
NRL
get so
season.
nervous
I
about
don't know.
live
I'm
shows?
actually having anxiety. I'm
About
waking
the
up in the
live
middle of the
show?
night. Yeah, I am.
You did that last year as
Did
well.
I?
Yeah, remember how much she was wigging out?
And I didn't have any nerves on the day, but I'm
I'll
starting
tell
to
you
feel
why,
sick.
because we're all bloody hungover and we all just
I
started
wasn't
early.
hungover.
It was awesome.
Trish, you gotta just relax, cuz.
We'll do it, bruh. Sister,
You
come on.
guys are more used to, you know.
Yeah, well, that's it, mate. You're in the bosom of us. We're the live specialists.
Yeah, you're being nestled by 3 veterans, live show veterans,
Would you like-
and Jack.
Would you like to hear my Matt's wild predicament for this week?
Yeah,
I don't
We
know.
got another
Will we
one,
like
Coops.
No,
I don't
no.
want to jump in.
Before we get into your predicament, can we actually talk today's Anzac Day? Because
yeah.
now we're
Yes.
filming obviously earlier in the week, but it is Anzac Day today. So I thought we'd talk quickly about the jerseys, the NRL jerseys this year. I think they've been there. This year is the best lot of them.
I will say the Knights one is as good. They should nearly use it like year round. It's very
It's
cool.
representing the 35th Battalion, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah. That's very good. And one, I'll tip my hat to the Knights and some of the players. They're not just wearing the jersey. They went, I think, to the War Museum and read up about the 35th Battalion.
Yeah.
So,
Danny
done.
Badiris and Peter Parr saw they went into they went down to Canberra and checked it all out. So yeah, very good.
What a day it is at Moore Park today. Dragons up against the
Allianz.
Roosters. Yeah, at Allianz. All the pubs all around there. There's two taking place.
I'm going out.
It's a special day. I think Trish and I might as well.
We are, yeah.
I'm going out. to
We
the
went
game.
last year. It was fun.
Yeah, we did. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
Some sort of game too. Always good.
It's always good.
Second game, Knights versus Warriors in New Zealand. Great that New Zealand have got this fixture. Usually it's Melbourne Storm versus Warriors in Melbourne.
Yeah, and they do it really well.
Yeah.
But
So
they've
they're
been
not doing that this year.
Melbourne
they did
versus
that last
Souths.
week.
Manly versus
Yeah, right.
Souths in Melbourne.
Load
But
up
it's
on the
really good. The
Warriors.
Warriors have actually load up on the Warriors.
Load up on the Warriors. Knights haven't scored a point in like 3 weeks, respectively.
Oh,
Respectively.
respectfully, but Dill's back. So Dill's
yeah.
back this week. So let's hope so.
Yeah.
And
Apparently
Croaks are starting. That's the ultimate lineup. Croaks are starting. Dill's starting.
Yeah.
It's a sign there.
There was a bit of an incident at training. They said yesterday the playmakers went up and called the police and said it's weird that there's this like strange white line that's going across the field, and they said it's called the try line.
You low bastard. Wait, one more footy topic. Can I bring it up, Trish?
sure.
Isaiah Katoa against the Melbourne Storm last week.
Wow.
I was watching that game and I was in awe of that fella. Let me tell you there was a big upset. The Dolphins beat Storm in general. No Harry Grant, friend of the podcast. But I just
Can
thought
I
it
ask, what's Harry's injury? I didn't realise he was out.
hamstring.
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
he's a hammy.
Hamstring. You got the G-string.
But
G-string. It's not.
Katoa is a really special player.
Yeah, he is. He was unbelievable. We were sitting there. The deception and the double pump on that man.
Oh.
That man, I've never seen someone pump like it.
Great lads.
I'm seriously under the impression, if I'm his manager, if I'm Katoa's manager, I'm approaching Pump Water and I'm getting a lifetime sponsorship. And they should release a double pump range where it's like a 2-litre bottle.
Oh, that's a great idea.
You know what I seen?
I was thinking it. I had a dream about it. I was like, imagine Katoa just in an ad going, look, and he's just pumping, continually pumping.
Double
just
pumping.
Yeah, to clarify that.
And even if people aren't in sport, they'll know. So it's Katoa doing his famous double pump.
Yeah, he's doing that double pump, and then he goes out, grabs a big 2-litre of pump, and just sculls it, and then just keeps pumping.
Well, I've seen him do triple pumps.
Off field as well.
I've seen him do triple pump. I've seen him one day do this. He looked out, looked in like he was going to pass, and then passed out again. Like it was a triple feign.
Yeah, Cody Nicarima was very good the other night as well.
Yeah.
So I'm
They're
expecting
on
big
the
things.
climb.
The Dolphins, hey, what did I say to you, Cobber? So it's the best, Christian Wolf, it's the best way to follow Wayne is suck early because everyone's then got to get on the same page because if they start doing the same thing straight away, and
Smart.
you shit yourself there because everyone does, if they do the same thing rolling over from Wayne and then he changes things, they all then want to go back to the old ways.
Correct.
But they sucked early, so you know what? They're all on the same page now.
Yep, they tore up the script, started again.
100%.
There you
Shout
go.
out to Katoa. Keep pumping.
Yes. Mate, what about the talent coming out of like that Mount Druitt, Penrith area? Because that's where he's from.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
just incredible.
Ludicrous.
Matt's wild predicament this week, Trish. Okay. A man is about to be electrocuted in the electric chair. I suppose that's what happens. He's on death row. You're the guard. As you turn up to his cell to take him to his death, he is choking to death on a cheeseburger, which was his final meal. What do you do? So he's about to become dead man walking, going down to put in the electric chair to be electrocuted. However, you go to his room to collect him, and he's choking on a cheeseburger. What are you going to do?
I don't rush to open the door. I think there's
I'd probably just get it out of him.
Save him?
Yeah, I'd save him because he's going to death row anyway.
Hang on a
But
second.
that's what I mean. Like,
If
he's
he's not-
halfway there already.
What about
Yeah,
his-
but
Let
there's-
him just
but
go.
there's- but
A
there's-
little bit more
But
dignity.
that's not peaceful. That's like quite
Well,
painful.
I don't think electric chair is either, honey.
I don't think it hurts. I think you should.
I think I'd let him go. The only difference would be is if the victim's family are out there, because a lot of times the victim's family want to see a person put to death. They want to see it. But I'll be a little bit worried because, he might be sneaking something and you're going there to save him and Bush,
Yeah,
that happens
that's
in the
right.
movies.
Oh,
Hannibal Lecter.
he's got a
That was
shiv.
his old trick.
Yeah, he's
you
got
got it.
He's got a shiv.
So
Yeah,
what do
I'm
we-
saving him. I'm saving him.
Saving him.
I am. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. I'm not judge, jury, and executioner, brother. I'm just there to
Do your job.
push his wheelchair into the electric chair.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think he's choking. I think he'd be faking it at the start anyway because, like, who chokes on a cheeseburger, really?
Yeah.
Good call.
So you
I
guys
think
aren't
chicken
saying
wings are bad. Yeah.
Chicken wings. That's what I should have went for the chicken wings. I thought about it, but I went for the cheeseburger. Yeah, they're just dropping in now a little bit.
Did your mic just drop in?
Just
and
dropped
out?
out, just very, very subtle.
It's right.
there
It's
for a
back now.
second.
Wow.
Okay.
Sorry to listen.
Now,
Have you got a loose cord or something, darling?
got
Is that
one
a
in-
euphemism?
Got one in there somewhere, I reckon. Now, I've taken over Jack's blind draft today. Jack's been flat chat. So I'm doing Jack's blind draft. And today, it's NRL teams where they will finish at the end of the regular round. Order, lowest to highest, 5 to 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
Okay.
you think they're going to be lower down the thing, you'll put them at 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep, like that. Okay.
I like it. I
First-
like it.
Creative.
First one, South Sydney Rabbitohs.
I'm going 3.
I was thinking, my first instinct was 3. What
Oh,
do you
I
think,
was
sir?
3 or 4, so I'm happy with 3.
I borrow that pen, Trish, for a second. Okay,
Yeah, let's
there we
go
go.
3.
Let's see how chipper I sound at the moment. Third, I'm really enjoying this.
Cheddar.
Third, okay, South Sydney Rabbitohs are third. Penrith Panthers.
I'm going 4 at this rate.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the
I
end.
think
I
that,
think-
and to me, 4's around 8th, and I reckon that's where they might land.
Just depends who else we get given.
I mean,
Because there are some
you
teams
just
that
know,
excel.
you just know they're going to come good. You just bloody know.
Okay,
it.
but where do they finish at the end of the regular round?
Do they beat South? How many games has South won? 3, 4.
Mm.
They've only won. They've won 2. I'm happy to put them at 2 or 4.
I
two.
just think there are some teams who have excelled so far that deserve spot
Yeah,
1
I
and
think
2.
like
and
if
if they
there's a
come up,
Melbourne or a Dogs or a
Okay, I'll go 4 then.
yeah, I'm going to 4.
Gonna go 4.
And
I
it's
know.
not necessarily respective. It's just
Such a big call, isn't it?
Okay. Broncos.
okay.
yeah, that's 2.
That's a 2.
They've been playing that well.
I know, but they got too much talent, and then Ezra Mam comes back. They've got to come good,
Wham bam.
and
Yeah,
they've got
it's-
insurance. They've got insurance in the halves.
It's 2 because Jack and I have agreed.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
agreed.
Jeez, have I even had a crack in?
Okay, there's 2 left. Number 1 and number 5.
Depends what you give us.
She's going to give us Bulldogs here or something.
Well, if it's Dogs, you go 1.
Raiders.
Oh, that's harsh. That would
We
be
don't know.
That would be my 3 actually if I had to start again. I think we go.
It just depends what he gives
Well, I
us.
have to go 5. I'm not. I can't put them because if Dogs or Melbourne are on there,
Yeah.
I couldn't. I couldn't
Yeah, that's
physically
right. Yeah,
live
5.
with myself.
I'm with you too.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm with you.
I couldn't live with myself.
Sorry, Ricky.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's not a friend
We
of the
don't want to
podcast.
piss him off
Yeah.
anymore.
There you don't, do you?
Sorry,
Okay. And my last one,
Uh-oh.
which is just going to be, it's going to be number 1.
Yeah, number 1.
It has to be.
Titans.
Oh, you're a liar.
There you,
You
go.
bastard.
Let's run through. So we are predicting, or you guys
Well,
predict.
you know-
I'm not going to get myself involved with this.
Miracles are possible.
Okay, 5th. Number 5, you had Raiders. Number 4, Panthers. Number 3, South. Number 2, Broncos. Titans. Number 1. That was Trish's prediction a few years ago.
Can we hold on to that
Off to a
just in
slow
case?
start.
Just in case it comes good. Let's just hold on to that because
Yeah.
you never know.
You know,
Things
mate,
happen.
it's a weird
Hey.
competition.
Injuries. Titans have got a lot of injuries
Politics,
now, haven't
mate.
they? Already.
Well, they've got a lot of defeats.
A lot
that's
of
for
politics.
sure.
What else
It's
did we have?
struggling. Trish, you got a quiz?
I do if you
To
want
finish
to.
this off? Yeah, let's do
We're
it.
going good for
Okay.
time.
This is one where you're kind of supposed to write down the answers, but I didn't give you a pen or paper. So,
We'll remember it, won't we?
okay, it's a riddle.
Sorry, I got a pen and paper.
Okay, you can share. You can put in your phone, Jack.
Uh-huh.
What kind of band never plays music?
What kind of band never plays
Okay,
music?
yes, I
you'll
know.
get about
Yep.
How do you know that?
2.
Yep.
The band
Okay, that's
never
number 1.
band. Oh, whoa, whoa, are you not going to reveal it straight away?
No, they're going to wait.
No, because it's a riddle.
Oh, I thought you were going to.
Or would you like it?
Do you want to do? I reckon don't do all riddles.
Yeah. Okay. Go. Okay.
What'd
What
you
did you
have,
have?
Elastic.
Yeah, so did I. Elastic.
What did you have, Cooper?
Ah, shit, I had rubber band.
Yeah, well,
well,
rubber
that's-
band,
that
elastic
counts.
band. It's the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
We all
Okay.
got it.
No, we all got
I
it.
actually wrote power band first, and then thought that's a stupid thing to say.
Well,
So-
actually, that would work.
yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay, good. You all did very
That's
well
so
then.
stupid of me. How did I not? Anyway,
Okay.
sorry.
Or
Let's think of that.
Band-Aid.
John Lennon sang about this toothy creature. John Lennon sang a song about this toothy creature. I'll give you 5 seconds.
Is it a riddle or is it just a question?
Question, riddle, whatever you want. That's 5 seconds. Do you want to have a go? Cooper, you're writing something.
I've got one, but I reckon it's right, so I don't want to get it wrong.
Okay. Matt, what do you think?
I'm the walrus.
Oh, yeah, it is
Very
the walrus.
good.
I actually didn't write it down, but I swear it came to me as he said that.
Yeah,
what did
well,
you
it
have,
would,
Pip?
as he said it.
You had Yellow Submarine or something, didn't you?
I've messed up so bad here.
Octopus's Garden or something.
I just wrote Cats in the Cradle.
Well, it's got teeth.
Who was that again?
Is that not?
Father-
That's
And the cats in the cradle in the
you know,
sea.
the man who then changed his name to.
It's not
No,
Cat
no,
Stevens.
it's not Cat Stevens.
No,
Oh, it's not.
Nah, people, it's a misconception.
Oh, he's.
We'll think of his name in a minute.
Okay,
Then-
go back later.
Then it got covered by that turd of a band, Ugly Kid Joe.
My
They
brain,
did cover.
my brain's not working.
What we got?
Okay, what rock icon was the founder of the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Long-Haired Men? Very famous.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I do know.
Cruelty.
I actually know this. I think. Shit, now I've jinxed
The
myself.
Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Long-Haired Men.
Okay,
Rockstar.
I'll go on.
It was back in 1964.
I wrote Axl Rose.
No.
64. Bowie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
David Bowie.
I was going Frank Zappa.
Ah, well done, Jack.
I've seen a couple of Bowie docos in
Yeah.
my time. I like Bowie.
Yeah, interesting.
I like
Cal.
that as
one
well.
more.
Good
Okay.
bloke, great mate.
One more.
Yeah, go one more. Go on.
Okay, how many movies have Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler
Oh.
starring together?
Too many.
I like that.
Okay, that's your question. And if you can name the movies, I'll give you a bonus point for each.
Name all of them.
Yep.
I won't do that.
Okay, this is.
So you need to tell me how many movies they starred together. And if you can give me their names, I'll give you bonus points.
Oh yes, yes.
They're pretty obvious
Yeah.
ones. I don't think anything.
Was she in that one? Or was she in? Oh yeah, I got it.
Who's ready?
I'm saying 3.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I said.
What are the movies?
50 First Dates.
Yep.
Blended.
Yep.
And Big Daddy.
No, Big Daddy, baby. That
She's
was
not in Big Daddy. Day.
no, that was another.
That's a good
chick.
guess. I would have said the same. I went
You
50,
forgot the obvious one.
I went 50 First Dates, Blended, and I forgot the other one.
Oh my God, it's the most famous.
The Wedding Singer.
The Wedding Singer.
Of course, yeah.
It's the most famous.
Damn it. And I said if I was, I had 4.
Yeah.
I wrote 4. I'm an idiot.
I don't really know who won that anyway.
Well, Trish, to finish with, do you just want to once again promote what we got at Magic Round again?
Oh, so it's next weekend, guys. Next Saturday, we're going to do a live show at Fanland on level 7
Leisure Deck.
on the leisure deck at Queen's Wharf
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Bris Vegas. So
in Bris Vegas.
Bring
12 o'clock till 2 o'clock.
Bring
Yep.
your kids down. Bring,
It's going to be music, got all sorts of stuff
Yeah,
going
there's
on.
a massive screen there because it's actually Fanland's on over the whole 4 days
Yep.
up there. But
cool.
yeah, very cool. There's bars, there's food.
You've sold it
It's
enough
awesome.
to me.
I
That's
know.
enough.
And people that haven't
And
been
it's
there,
free.
if people haven't been up there at Magic Round, get up there. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. And Trish, one more thing we should wrap up there is a recommendation to people. They got to go to, is it Alfred's? The Chinese restaurant there.
Stanley's.
Oh, Stanley's. It's called.
I'm like, who's
another name.
Alfred?
There's Stanley's Chinese on Alfred Wharf, isn't it?
No, it's Howard Smith Wharf.
Howard Smith Wharf. I'm determined to get Alfred in there somewhere.
Who the hell is
hell is
Alfred?
Alfred?
It's called
You've been watching-
Stanley's, and it is
Yeah, it's pretty
incredible.
Kids been watching Batman.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You right there,
All right,
kid?
thanks,
All
guys.
right, we're
Awesome.
good.
Shot Legends.